Hi there, I'm Brooks Morse. I'm the Training Director at the University of Oregon Counseling and Testing Center. Welcome to this little visit with the UCTC internship site. I want to begin by telling you how much I love being a training director. Part of that is working with emerging psychologists such as yourself. It is such an honor and a privilege to be working with future psychologists on this journey. It was so transformative for me in that supervision process, that personal and professional growth, and to now be able to be working with interns on that same journey. I learn as much, if not more, from them than they do me. Also, I love being a training director at this site. The staff here are great. I think of our strengths of all being committed to training, being willing to examine our own biases, our values, look at our own identities, privileged and marginalized, around multiculturalism, knowing that unless we do that work ourselves, we aren't able to create that safe and affirming space to trainees such as yourself and our clients that we want to. And also our relational style. I spend more time here sometimes than my own partner during busy weeks, and having good collegial relationships is important. It's important to our quality of life. And we laugh, we have in-depth conversations, and sure, we have disagreements, and we do that very respectfully. We have a big reputation of being very process-oriented, and I have to share with you that's very true. So this is a fun place to be. It's, I think, a place that one really grows and looks at themselves culturally and otherwise. Well, I want you to get to meet some of the other staff, so I'll stop here and just say goodbye. I hope you get a sense of our culture and our community through this video. I wish you well in your process. I know that internship selection is nerve-wracking and exciting. Take care.
The University Counseling and Testing Center, the UCTC, is housed on the second floor of the University Health, Counseling, and Testing building. Though we are a separate entity from the University Health Center, we share a building with them and use that shared space to collaborate with each other when it's beneficial to do so. You will see staff walking outside of this beautiful building on the paths of the campus during their lunch hours, and they definitely don't let the rain stop them.
I love living in Eugene because there's 2 rivers and lots of bike paths, and my family's pretty active, so we're usually getting out either an hour away to the coast or an hour to the mountains or an hour to the high desert. You take your pick. There's all sorts of land to choose from.
I've been asked to talk a little bit about what you might want to know about us that you can't tell from our website. And as informative as our website is, I don't think it truly captures the relational and the process-oriented nature of our counseling and testing center. We value the work that we do and we work hard, but I would say that we also value our relationships with each other very highly. We work very hard to maintain a healthy work environment where who we are as professionals is important, but who we are as people is also important. So even though we work hard, we play a lot, we laugh a lot, people here have incredibly good senses of humor, at least we think we do. We make ourselves laugh. And it's a place where people bring themselves to work. We know about each other, people's family members often stop up to visit. It's just a place where we want people to see themselves as valued as human beings as well as valued as professionals.
Well, I think one of the things that stands out for me is that, and I believe it was another colleague that shared this, that we take what we do seriously, but we have fun while we do it. And I think that's one of the things that really helps with our culture and to make things more enjoyable.
I believe UCTC staff collaborate really well with one another. I think we really think about ourselves as a team, we work as a team, and we really try to support one another in all that we do. I I really love my colleagues, and I feel like I can go to any one of them if I'm needing to consult or if I'm just wanting to say hi. And we try to keep our doors open so that everyone, whether they're permanent staff, interns, grad assistants, or any of our other trainees, always know that, you know, they can kind of pop in and say hello and, you know, consult if needed. We, I think, really value trying to be available and trying to support one another, and also trying to bring a little play and fun into what we do, because sometimes, you know, this is very serious work. So I think UCTC staff really value collaborating and working together.
The best thing about working at the UCTC is the people. There's just a great diverse group of people, and there's so much to learn from each person, and we all get along so well. Everybody's so invested in being here and making it the best place possible.
What I think is important for trainees or applicants to know about our site is that our internship program here is really focused on making the transition from an academic model to a lived model. So we want to really encourage interns to take the information that they have and information that they've learned and start applying it in personal ways. That could be information about theoretical orientations. It could be information about cultural competence and diversity. It could be information about systems. But it's taking information that they've learned, theories, and kind of looking at how does that play out with them, how does it play out with their peers, how does it play out with their clients.
Our facilities aim to provide a welcoming environment for all students and staff by including pieces of art and reading materials that represent a variety of cultures and identities. Each intern office comes with a desk, 2 computer screens, videotaping capabilities, windows, and comfortable chairs conducive for counseling. Interns are invited to decorate their offices as much or as little as they choose in order for the space to feel representative of who they are as professionals and as people. Intern offices are grouped in the same area of the center to allow for increased opportunities for support and connection within the cohort dynamic.
The biggest strength for me personally is just that the Counseling Center, or the UCTC, has such a focus on training, and that is as much a training center as it is a counseling center. And you know, I just feel like internship is a very hard year, and there's just been a lot of times where I have been tired and, you know, not feeling as enthusiastic, but because I've been surrounded by so much enthusiasm, and you know, and also surrounded by a kind of training that meets me where I am at each level that I've been growing through the year. It's really helped me like bolster that enthusiasm.
I agree. I think that the strength for me was people's investment in training, and every staff member had that investment in training, and so I didn't feel like I was a trainee in a pocket of a few handful of people who wanted to do training, but that everyone had an active role, both in training and evaluation, but also would check in and had their expertise, and I felt like I could go to various people with different questions, and that they were all invested in my growth, and that it wasn't bothersome or burdensome in any way to do that.
I would second what everybody said about the strengths of the UCTC or the internship. And even though I know there's not one activity that the UCTC does that is more important than the others, it definitely feels like, at least from my experience as an intern, that the internship is a really special part of it. And from an intern perspective, it can sometimes feel like we're not the most important, but definitely really important. But I also know that the clients probably feel that way too, and that from their perspective, they very likely also feel like, as clients, we're the important thing that's happening here. And I imagine that practicum students and people at all different levels feel pretty equally valued, and I know I felt that way as an intern.
Another thing that's really beneficial about our training program here is that you really learn how to deal with conflict in a work setting. I definitely wouldn't say we have more conflict here than in other centers I've been in, but I feel like the nice thing here is that it's really encouraged to address it, and you really can explore how to do that in the most appropriate way to continue to be collegial with others, but also be able to talk about the things that naturally come up when you have people who have diverse opinions and values on different things. And so I feel like that's not shied away from here.
One other thing that's really important about this internship site is Brooks, the training director. I met her, I came here when I was thinking about ranking this program, and I was sold. She is such a wonderful, loving, caring person, and she's really going to meet you where you're at in terms of your personal and professional development. I've never been so well taken care of in terms of my training. I think it was important that they saw me where I was at in my development, who I am, the identities that I come with, my own personal concerns, and the professional places that I wanted to grow. So I really appreciated the fact that, here we came in as 4 interns, and Brooks saw what we needed, saw us where we were at, and then just challenged us and really supported us throughout that process.
Another thing that is hard to probably pick up on with the website is the awareness to multicultural issues, power and privileged identities, and how those things intersect and interact. I really feel that this is an agency that walks the talk in a lot of ways, and we constantly have conversations about these issues. One example of the commitment to that is a weekly seminar that we have, the Multicultural Seminar, and I've grown enormously through that, and I think it's just a wonderful training opportunity, and if you're interested in those things, this is a great place to get that.
So my interest in working with international students stemmed from my own experience in coming to the US as an international student, and over the years, I've just heard from so many different students about their different experiences when they come to the US and how distressing that can be, how rewarding also. And the counseling center here is extremely focused on providing international students with a really rewarding student experience. The staff at the counseling center at the University of Oregon places a really high emphasis and value on multiculturalism and on diversity, and I think that really reflects in our work with international students. We run some international student groups. There's a counselor who sees international students at the International Affairs office, to provide counseling within their own space. This is a really good place to work at.
Other things that I love about this place is just the idea about social justice and diversity and how it's integrated in everything that they do. The decisions that they make, just the fact that I had mentioned before that students are feeling welcome to come here. When I think of all the clients that I've seen in the past year, it's just so diverse in ways that I didn't think. Because, oftentimes with students, you're going to see a lot of females, white females in particular, but just to see in terms of different sexual orientation, gender identity, social class, religious background, different ages, and I think that's specific to University of Oregon, a lot of non-traditional students that come here. So I really felt like I've seen a wide variety of identities and also the concerns that they bring.
Challenges working here or being an intern here is just how very busy we are. We are in heavy demand. We get a lot of referrals from across campus, a lot of students who self-refer, and we will get to a point in the year where we have a wait list, which can feel a little bit stressful. And so you'll find yourself, especially for example winter term, just feeling like your days are packed with a lot of things to do and a lot of people to keep track of, and that can feel a little bit stressful. The upside to that is when you leave here and you enter the professional world, you're really ready to function as a professional, and the transition from student to professional I think is a little bit less jarring after you've been an intern here, just based on the workload and the types of students that you're working with.
I've really enjoyed putting this video together for all of you. I actually was an intern here and am now a staff member, and so can really attest to both experiences of working in this agency. can really share that I had a really wonderful, supportive, and comprehensive training experience here, and was really happy with the fit here once I arrived. And as a staff member, I can really attest to the passion that staff have for training and for multiculturalism, and it really feels like we walk the walk here, and that's really important to us. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video, and really wish you luck in the rest of your internship process.